Do we even need to ask you questions?
It's gonna be non-verbal.
It's gonna be number. We're just gonna be the cheerleading team, and
Great.
but we explored so many interesting things and topics, and how do we bring this to the labs? And
Maybe it's funny because it's like what feels urgent to you right now
Let's talk
besides
very close to the mic.
Setup.
besides the setup for tonight's party that you want to share with us and bring into the archive. It could be like a question.
What's keeping you up at night?
What's keeping me up at night? I think what I enjoy about this year's topic also of the Cyber Festival so much is that next to what we're interested in anyways, which is, technology, society, how they impact how they influence each other. This year it's so specific. The quantum realm is really something that you have to get deep into in order to understand. But I think that's part of the fascinating thing. It's like we're all curious. It's amazing to have so many great people, ones that are experts and are in the field since so many years. Others that just started. But I think that learning from each other is such a great thing. And this is also what a festival is about. And I love that format of the festival ever since. And so, that keeps me up at night, I guess.
What are the possibilities that the sort of the knowledge framework around quantum is opening for image making in your view? What are the questions that are being that are arriving outside, that are coming out of the labs? What possibilities are these questions creating for time-based media in your view?
Yeah, I think one example is really the film loop that is running today, that Anna Brendes curated together with me. And I think it's so many different angles, which is great. It's, really coming from abstract, from animation, goes to documentary, goes to speculative moments, AI, many different media. And for example, the program is going to go on. I'm very excited also about one thing that is happening in December 18th, with Felix Lenz, Ganael Domreicher, Dunya Zahir, and they created a very brilliant movie, Brute Force, that is a very political and at the same time super highly aesthetic, great piece of art, I would say. And it draws on Karen Barad, on Rosi Braidotti, so really the theory that is so key to what we are talking about. And it's very critical and very, they did film in the Silicon Valley, they did film where infrastructure comes from. And we already heard this today in some of the tours, also some of the artists Mike mentioned Ways of Being by James Bridle. We have to talk about exploitation of nature. We have to talk about a non-human perspective. And bringing all this together, I think this is also very dear to my heart. Like not only staying with the fascination in an affirmative way, but being critical about and trying to also look behind the scenes somehow and always remember that there is a lot of power play behind what we are talking about.
I think that comes out quite strongly from the program. I think that the competing worldviews and the ways in which some of these debates are creating space for those competing worldviews to coexist, and I think they coexist very meaningfully within the program. And you're also bringing together an interesting conversation in December on time. Is that something you want to anticipate? You can anticipate about that, or?
Yes, that's great. I already met the two panelists, Thorsten Schumm and Miriam Hamann. Miriam is an artist working with different media. She's doing sculptures. She's doing in situ installations. Even I would call it land art. So like huge installations in the country. And Thorsten Schumm, on the other hand, is a physicist, professor at the Atom Institute in Vienna, and together with his team, they are working on the Atomkernuhr. So I would have to know the English word, but maybe we can look it up later. But I found the conversation already so interesting because she is dealing with, like, from an art science perspective, also really with finding out where concepts, for example, of time or technology are coming from science, coming from this humanistic point of view. And she's very accurate, but obviously, finding the essence of things and making it visible in one line or so, so that's really fascinating, I think. And then Thorsten Schumm, on the other hand, which you might not believe, but he said, okay, you come to the Atom Institute and there's a lot of trash. You have to be aware of particles or I don't know, things falling down. So it's more material based than you would think. I mean, we think about light and particles and something you could not touch. But he's like, yeah, and
as messy as an artist's studio.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the same time, because I always also ask people, why do you do what you do? And that was also quite fascinating. I don't want to spoil too much.
But I think rather than spoiling the topic, I think the concept of bringing together artistic and scientific research and create a space for these two fields of knowledge making to communicate and to connect, I think is very very interesting in this way, and I think it can be surprising.
Absolutely, and surprising for the two as well. Like
exactly.
This. So he was like, yeah, I didn't think about it like this. Thank you for that point of view somehow, and so exchange is always a good thing.
Last question.
Last question. Talking about time, how do you see this beautiful community of Civa evolving in the next years? Which is a bit weird to ask since we're still in the present, but in case.
No, but I love the question. And as time is non-linear, as we learned,
right,
I already feel the future, and I hope that it's gonna be ever evolving, and so amazing to meet you guys, and again, talking about festival and community, that is really, I think, also something that drives me, and I hope there's gonna be a lot of topics that we can talk about, so I hope we meet every year from now on in Vienna and all over the world.
We shall keep learning. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Grazie.
Grazie mille.
Grazie.